So what do you do if you found yourself recently laid off unexpectedly amidst the holidays and really no strategy as to how you move forward in your career path? Tune in to hear a personal story of mine where I found myself in a similar situation and was able to make it through unscathed, and I would argue in a better situation than I was prior. Hi, my name is Stephen Joseph, and I'm the president and founder of EvoStream Communications. Recently, as I mentioned, there have been many layoffs throughout the tech sector. And amidst that, I found a community of friends and former colleagues that have all been impacted as salespeople by those layoffs, unexpectedly, and of course, during the holidays at the worst possible time. So I wanted to share a personal story because it's difficult to give advice or help folks, especially when everyone's situation is very unique, right? Both personally with family and their finances, but also with the particular career that they're in and their goals as far as what their future path would look like. So there are two main things that I think folks can probably get out of my story that are a little unique to the typical advice and guidance that you might receive in this situation. And those two things are first, to be vulnerable. And by that, I mean, be willing to share with everyone on your team and with your family what you're going through and that you may be scared, right? And uncertain. Number two is to not look above, but look side to side and below if you are asking someone for help. For example, somebody that has a really senior level job or that you may see as a mentor, those aren't always the people that you want to ask for help right away. Eventually, possibly, but the first thing I would recommend you do is look side to side. Look at your team members that were also laid off. Look at your peers in the community. In my case, it was competitors. And then look to your employees, the people who work for you. If you're a manager or you were a director, what if you had salespeople that were also laid off, right? Maybe they have some good ideas, some good connections, and together you can make that next part of your story happen, right? So back to my personal story. Coronavirus pandemic hits to, kind of shorten this up. We're obviously in a situation as business owners where not only do we need to fend for ourselves, but first and foremost, we need to think about our employees. So when you lose your job in typical situation, you work for a big employer, you lose your income. When you're a small business and your income is threatened, it's not just your income and salary that's going to go away, but it's possibly the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 payroll that you have to fulfill that's going to get impacted. So you need to think about those employees. And that was the situation I found myself in. So one of the first things I did, as I mentioned, is I shared with them that I was concerned, that I was uncertain, and that we were vulnerable as a team. And what I got from that was buy-in and immediate support from the folks that worked for me. Many of them said, "Hey, Steve, you've been loyal to us for many years. We'll work for you for half pay, or in some cases, we'll volunteer for a couple of months if we have to get through this." So what happens there? When you're vulnerable and somebody that you don't expect is able to actually help you, and you normally see yourself as a position of, maybe the breadwinner in the family, or in my case, the leader of a team, a sales manager, it's really nice to know that there are people who you've supported or managed or in the past been able to be a leader for, take that lead themselves and help you out. And in this situation, it was extremely inspiring and motivational to know that I had that support and feedback. So that was number one. Number two was I tried to reach out to competitors, other folks that were in similar situation as I was, to ask them, what are they doing? What are they experiencing? What's their plan? Usually, if you've been laid off, folks around you have also been laid off, right? So you want to kind of pull them and see maybe they have a strategy or an idea, or they've got to jump on something that they're willing to share with you. Certainly, if a boat is about to sink and you're all going in the water anyway, right? Why not get in a lifeboat with somebody else? Maybe there's going to be someone on that team who's really smart in a certain situation and you can complement each other, right? That's teamwork. So those are the two things that I think you should always look to do when you find yourself in these situations. Be vulnerable and don't necessarily look above or to a higher position for help. Look to your teammates, look to your peers, look to your employees, and your staff. Now, for us, what happened was my friend and competitor in this situation had a different experience. His employees were not willing to stay on board, and they took a different path. But for us, that opened up a unique opportunity. We said to ourselves, okay, well, your staff needs more hours. I don't have a staff. Why don't we load balance and we'll white shirt your staff so that, both of us have sufficient back office to make it through this. And what happened was our back office benefited. So the folks that were willing to say, yeah, we'll pitch in, we'll do extra, they were actually immediately rewarded. Their hours, although they were originally going to shrink to say 50%, we're able to then give them hours back by using our competitor as another employment opportunity. So that was number one. Number two, we were both really motivated by this, right? We're like, wow, we have this team behind us. We really need as leaders to push forward, right? So I think in that experience, we learned some lessons as well, and it made us better moving forward as a team. Now, of course, that pandemic lasted much longer than we expected, so it was really important that we were able to put this plan together, and ultimately it opened up many other opportunities. Again, it's a long story, and I know with everyone's situation, it's very personalized, but we really ended up, like I said, not only unscathed, but permanently changed for the better. In sharing this, I really wanted to encourage anyone who's out there who's lost their job to be vulnerable, share their story, ask for help. Of course, you can always direct message me. Leave your comments, feedback in the post, and I would love to, engage with you on your personal journey. So thanks again for tuning in. Best of luck to everyone. Of course, with the holidays coming, everyone wants to get back on track for 2023, and I'm here to help. So thanks again. Have a great day.